Welcome to the top 10 things you need to know about teaching yoga to kids and teens. My name's Lorraine Rushton, founder of Zenergy Yoga, and over the last 20 years I spent over 20,000 hours teaching yoga to thousands and thousands of children and teens of all ages. And I'm going to share with you the top 10 things you need to know to be successful when teaching children. Now, I know many of you are here because you want to start teaching yoga to kids or teens, but some of you may already teach kids yoga and maybe you'd like some more tools and more tips. So let's jump on in. Number one, get trained and get trained really well, because if you want to impact little lives, you want to be doing the best job that you can. And then it's really important to complete a registered and accredited kids yoga teacher training course so you can be the best children's yoga teacher you can be. Now, depending on the impact, where you want to teach, how many children you want to teach, what needs the kids have, it will depend on which course is right for you. Number two, documentation. Now, the minimum you need to get going will be your children's yoga teacher certificate, insurance, your first aid certificate, and a working with children's check. Different states and different countries will require different documentation. Different schools, early childhood centres and community halls might want different things. So find out what you need and get them all ready for them. Number three, it's not adults yoga. Before we can begin to look at how do we plan a class, perhaps the big and most important tip you need to know is children's yoga is not the same as adults yoga. And classes for kids look completely different from those adults classes that you go into or you teach. It was my first lesson when I took my first class all those years ago. In fact, it was teaching that first class in a private school to a group of teenage girls when I realized I was going to have to throw out everything that I knew, all my preconceived ideas of what a yoga class for teens looks like and how I teach when I was going to start from scratch, because you might use songs or partner work or massages, group games or journaling, music, educational moments. You know, this is the fun of teaching kids and teens, that there are endless possibilities for your class. Number four, my fourth tip that you need to know is that children don't behave the same way as adults do. Now, I know we all know this, but when you go into your quiet, serene adults yoga class where everybody behaves in a certain way and they keep all the grunts and groans internally, it comes as such a shock when suddenly you go to teach kids and they want to tell you everything about their day and how they feel in the middle of the yoga class. And the same is true for their actions. Children need set boundaries in their classes. It's really important to tell them what goes and what doesn't go in a yoga class. This is going to be one of the most important tips I can share when starting classes for kids and teens. It's going to make the difference between that heartwarming, fulfilling yoga class or a challenging nightmare experience. But don't worry, I cover all of this in really full detail in my training programs. How do you set rules, boundaries, what types of rules, what you need to know, how to follow through. The fifth tip is the importance of a good lesson plan. Kids benefit and thrive from well planned out classes that have substance and meaning. Think about, how do you engage short attention spans in these busy minds? How do you work with quick bursts of energy? And how do you guide them to a place of stillness? Structure makes it really easy for them to keep their focus and keep their attention. And they have a sense of security knowing what's coming next. At the Zenergy Foundation course, we take you through a class template for each age group. We say that there are 10 components that make up a class. And then all we do each week is change what goes in to each of those segments. And I give you heaps and heaps of ideas to choose from. My sixth tip is that children's classes not only have to be meaningful to make an impact, but they also have to be fun. Even the teenagers want an element of fun in classes. To do this, you can incorporate a game, music, storytelling, songs, massages, partner work or group work. Number 7, can you relate the lesson and the content to the age and the stage of development of the class? Relate. For the little children, we do this by we incorporate music or storytelling, books or songs, massages, partner work, group work. For the teens and the tweens, the older ones, the focus will be more on education, inspiration, and how can yoga help them with all the challenges that they're facing in their life. You know, how we teach belly breathing to a 5-year-old is going to be very different to how we teach it to a teenager. Number 8, educate. Kids and especially teens, they love to know why they're doing something. It's going to be much more engaging, they're going to be more attentive, more enthused about doing a pose if it's challenging, if they know what it's good for and it's good for them. You know, they love to know what can they do that will help their achy backs, their digestion, maybe their asthma and their anxiety. The more you educate them, the more their attention will increase massively. Number 9, be inclusive. If you've been teaching classes or you're a school teacher or a parent or childcare worker, then you're going to be aware of the increasing needs of children, their physical, mental, emotional and social needs. You know, over the last 20 years, I've seen the rates of ADHD rocket. The number of children on the spectrum has exploded. We have kids as young as 3 dealing with stress and anxiety, children as young as 5 on medication for depression. You know what? This isn't to depress you, but to give you hope. Through yoga and yoga therapy, we can help. At Zenergy Yoga, our mission is to equip all teachers with the tools and the knowledge to help every child in your classroom, every child that walks through your studio door or in your community or in your family. You can learn how to be fully inclusive of all the children in your classes, but not only that, how to use yoga therapy to make a real difference for them. Learn how to use yoga therapy to specifically target health issues is going to be a profound gift for you and for them as well, for both of you. And lastly, finally, the most important tip of all is not only how do you teach children's yoga that weaves together meaningful classes that will impact the physical, but also the mental and the emotional needs of the children as well. And there are many ways of doing this. We could include a breathing exercise, a relaxation, or exercises that I call personal development exercises that leave each and every child feeling happy, calm, and believing in themselves. And once you design lessons that target the whole child in this way, you're going to be making a profound impact in their lives and teaching classes that make a difference. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I get to meet you in one of our live training courses and that you've got heaps of information to take away and to help you on your journey of impacting children and teens' lives.